Good evening, everyone. As we all know, traveling has become a challenge in this pandemic situation, especially international travel with all the confusion about entry requirements, visa, and other things. In order to clear our confusion and answer our questions, Kannada Bharati, along with Navika, IAAF, other Seattle or local organizations here, has organized this QA session. Kannada Bharati is a volunteer-led nonprofit organization serving Kannada community in Greater Seattle area. We promote culture, heritage of India by conducting different classes, music, art, drama regularly. Weekly we have classes to students. Our volunteers and teachers are working tirelessly. We also are collaborating with local social workers in Karnataka, helping people who lost jobs, daily wage workers. I am Abhijit Jagannath. I welcome you all. I am a Kannada Bharati teacher for this event. We have with us Shri Manjunatha Kondalli, President of Kannada Bharati, who will introduce and welcome today's guests. Manjunatha.
Thank you, Abhijit. So we are fortunate to have Counsel General of India with us today to address the Seattle Indian crowd over the virtual meet. Ambassador Dr. Nagendra Prasad, if we have to talk something about him, before taking over as Counsel General of India at San Francisco, served at the Ministry of External Affairs as a Joint Secretary heading Gulf Division. He joined the Indian Foreign Service in year 1993 and served in various positions at Indian missions, including Tehran, London, and many more. Back home in India, he served as Regional Passport Office in Bangalore and also Project Director of Passport Seva Project, one of the mission more projects under e-governance. Dr. Prasad was born in district of Warangal, Telangana. He graduated from Andhra Pradesh Agricultural University and received his doctorate from the prestigious Indian Agricultural Research Institute in New Delhi. He is married to Padmavati and has a son. And on behalf of Seattle Indians, Kannada Bharati and its board of directors, IAFFF, Indo-American Friendship Forum Foundation, in Navika, and all of its board of directors, and all Indians across state of Washington, I would like to welcome you to the program, sir. We have all the KB board members, other board members in the call today. Also, many of them are watching over the YouTube to hear your voice and get to know more about the mission and other queries or issues that they were concerned about. Once again, I welcome you to the program, and stage is all for you, sir. Thank you.
Namaskar, everyone. Thank you very much for this generous introduction. It's always a pleasure to take office to the people who have to be served, and I would like to thank you, Kannada Bharati and Navika, and then IAFF. In organizing this virtual consular camp in Seattle. I think last year our office had conducted a physical camp, consular camp at near Seattle. But this time, as you mentioned that we are going through tough times. The travel has become tough, but also some travel is essential. And CGI San Francisco has been striving hard, and then the entire team has been working hard despite the restrictions, COVID, etc. All the time. And we have been providing consular services efficiently. And as you know, CGI San Francisco has a larger jurisdiction of almost 1.3 times of the geographical size of India, and we also have about 1.5 million Indian Americans or Indian origin or Indian passport holders altogether living on the west coast. But no, the most of the major chunk is Bay Area, Los Angeles, and then Seattle. These comprise the bulk of the population. That is the reason I think we thought the consular camps are essential during these times, because there are a lot of things changing on travel restrictions, etc. So we had recently with Los Angeles, and then I think this is the second virtual camp we are having. I think the essential things are we have been mentioning at our website, but still people would like to know, and then they have their own personal angle to look at the rule and then ask questions. I think this is the best forum. I think my team who is present on this occasion will be able to provide all the requisite answers. Of course, there is distance, and then I only request that if one is planning in advance, I think the things will be far better. But we are able to in case of very unplanned things, the things which cannot be planned, we are also helping out by opening office during the weekends, etc. But please reach out. We have an email, we have emergency telephone number. In case of emergencies, we are able to serve you efficiently as you get satisfaction. Seattle is a major city, and it has all these big tech companies, including Microsoft, Amazon, and and then large Indian community. I think to some estimates it may be around 200,000. As I mentioned earlier, I think our consulate has held a camp at Bothell, and then they were thinking of holding one camp, but it didn't happen because of the COVID. But I'm happy that at least virtually we are able to meet, and then we are able to solve certain questions. And then this particular consular camp is very essential, very timely, because one is the tough times we are going through, the ever-changing travel restrictions. Number two is that recently we had a change in the service provider. Earlier we used to have CKGS, and then now we have VFS, and then every time when there is a transition, there are teething problems, there are hiccups. I think my team will be able to guide you, and also it will be a learning. It will be a learning experience for the newly appointed service provider, that is VFS. What are the expectations from the people? So I think that way we can reduce the number of mistakes or the delay, particularly delay. Delay can be stopped. And there is very high demand from Seattle. I can see every week some requests flowing from Seattle, unlike other states. I think because of that, I think we thought it is essential to have this session. We certainly we would like to have a very physical camp, because to avoid your travel all the way here, or to some services which we can provide then and there. Also, we would like to hold a physical camp, maybe possible after the COVID restrictions are lifted. I think at that time we can have a proper camp. CGI handles a huge volume, actually largest volume you can say in the US or in the world. The consular services not only includes passport or visa, but there are several other power of attorneys, and then change of name, or OCI. So all these services together are really increasing day by day. And then we are trying to, with the same number of staff in the consulate, we are trying to provide the satisfactory services, and it's our commitment to improve the efficiency. I think this kind of interaction will really help us improve our efficiency. Viewer inputs also will be very, very valuable, and I think our consulate, I have seen my team has been walking an extra mile to help the Indian Americans or Indians who are here to really meet their need. As I mentioned, no, not only during the weekdays, it's so difficult for people to travel and then come to the embassy, sorry, consulate, but still people are doing that. And not only that, even on holidays, particularly in case of very serious emergencies, our staff has been very, very prompt and then kind to come to office and then provide the services. And we have, of course, no, there are local regulations which restrict movement of people, but no, still we are able to provide these services on walk-in basis in some cases, but no, how long we can do, we don't know. As we speak, no, from tomorrow, the restrictions are in California that no, stay at home, and we are going through tough times here. I think the number of infections have increased, so they have taken this decision. I think not before January 4th we will be back to at least current stage. I think, but no, if you have enough time, I think, no, you can send it by mail, and then we are, of course, please keep, no, earlier a service was being provided in 15 days. No, please add 1 more week or 10 days, because no, any application which comes, we have to follow COVID protocols. So it takes 2-3 days to even touch the envelope. So you are all in tech, and then you are all very well educated, and then you will understand this situation. But even our outsourcing provider also is not able to allow any walk-ins. No, they also only take the applications, and then which are received by mail. I think, no, we are all here to not to have any kind of health protocols breached, because no, any breach in our office particularly, I'm always concerned it will just stop the functioning of the office, because a couple of guys infected, and then you are off the work, and then it will increase the burden, and then it will really disrupt the services. So I'm happy to mention that there is a colleague from VFS also to listen to you, or you can pose questions, so that it is not only providing a solution today, but they may go back and then look at the thing to improve the efficiency if you have faced any issue. I think I mentioned delay may be there a bit, but please understand the situation. And Seattle is known for innovation. I think I understand that many of our community members are active in leading companies, Microsoft, Amazon, and I think we also wanted to know if you guys can help us in creating an app. I always thought the main grievance will be that no one is there to take my call, no one is there to answer. We really answer so many hundreds of mails, but humanly it is not possible to take the calls, because taking a call will put at least 10 passports back. So that is our condition. So if the intelligent people like you, or tech bosses can provide an app, that will be great help to the consulate. I think my colleague and then Deputy Consul General Rajesh Nayak will be happy to provide any inputs, and then we can meet the team virtually, and then we can tell what is really required for us. And then that app can be just I am only proposing, if it is comfortable, if you are able to do only, please do. And then the Seattle leave about the app, but we are there to serve. Just don't think that app is essential to provide to Consulate for giving you services. I think I must mention about Vande Bharat mission, which has started on May 9th. We have been having I think 8 flights a week, and then only Tuesday there is no flight, and then flights are going full. People are traveling from entire west coast, and things have been good. There have been no complaints from India on the passengers who have gone to India. They have returned. We had no issues on that. Not only to Delhi, there are flights to different destinations, including Bangalore and then Hyderabad. I think by now we have had around 34,000 going to India by these Vande Bharat flights, and then most of them also might have returned even. I think you nowadays, no, there are no restrictions. Please go ahead and then book your tickets if you hold Indian passport or OCI. If you have only tourist visa, then it is a problem. Please approach us for an entry visa. We are issuing in cases where it is required, maybe in few minutes sometimes, those who are in need. But please see that everyone knows that they should not go with a tourist visa to the airport, because they will be disappointed. They will be sent back by them that no, this visa is not valid. For you all, for your information, all the tourist visas have been suspended by Government of India as we speak till December 31st. So you have to take, even though you have a valid tourist visa, you need to take an emergency visa from embassy. And then also we saw several people know, maybe if there is a price advantage, or maybe you are able to travel from Seattle directly, people book in Emirates Airlines or British Airways. There are several other airlines which are flying, but no, these flights also are out of their own business proposition. They may issue the ticket, but no, you will not be able to travel. Please take United or Air India, which are flying from San Francisco. That is fine, or any other origin in US, but not the airlines which are from third country, and then which are taking you first to either Qatar or UAE, sorry, Abu Dhabi or London for that matter. Please don't take those flights. No, you will face some problem during your transit, and then you may not like it. With these few words, I think, I don't want to lecture, but I think people may be very eager to ask their questions and then ask about their pending applications. Our team will be very happy to provide you answers. I have got very good team, and then Kannada Bharati should be proud that we have a Deputy Consul General, very efficient and very experienced, because we both have one thing in common. We both worked in Passport Office, Bangalore. Of course, I worked in old days, and then he worked in millennial days. But he is there, and then my team also is very experienced, very prompt. I have not heard any time that we will not be doing this work, etc. No, they were always on the forefront. You will have really good interaction with them. Please take this opportunity to have your problem solved, and then please spread this message, so that no one should get disappointed by going to airport, or by not applying for service. Please approach us by email as of now, and we will be responding to you. Once again, I would like to thank Kannada Bharati, IAFF, and Mr. Jagdish Sharma ji. Virtual interactions have become the order of the day. I did meet Jagdish Sharma ji virtually on another occasion, and I'm happy to see all of you here. Seattle is very important to us, and then we will provide services more efficiently. Please go ahead with your program, and then thank you very much for having me today. And I hope that sometime we can have a physical meeting in Seattle. Thank you very much, and then go ahead.
Sir, thank you very much. Can you just stay for a minute?
Yes, I will.
You actually took two sentences or two items out of my words, and I wanted to make those statement that in Seattle we have one of the top companies here, and some of the Indians work in top positions, and there are CEOs. The question to you is that just let us know how we as a community can involve in helping you to make your life simpler and better, so that you can provide better services. We're more than happy to do that. We have this standard concept of a hackathon on a weekend kind of stuff. If we can work out a format like that, where a couple of people from your team can actually come and help us tell the problems. We can knock off the design and actually get into development. There are many ways that the startup world mindset can be applied to do that. Just have to let us know, and we will make that happen. More importantly is that just wanted to thank from the bottom of the heart that your team has done an extremely good job in this tough time. we have not heard anybody getting dejected after they were able to reach you, right? They have spoken to you or your team, right? They have got the best of the service, and these have been in trouble times. They have lost a loved one, whatever it is, right? I mean, you have made the best possible thing to actually get them. Thanks to your leadership and thanks to your team, very grateful to that. This is not a question for today, but any further we may want to talk about it. There is this IDFOI, the Indian Diaspora Foundation for Overseas Indians kind of stuff, which basically deals with a lot of philanthropy work that we can do back in India. It can be channelized through that. If you can cover that in any upcoming sessions with us, like how is this and how we can get how we can leverage to help our community back in India, that will be really helpful at a given point of time. And those were the 2 words, and just want to leave you with those 2 thoughts. And just let us know, anybody from your office, more than happy to take this forward and work out any solutions that you want.
Thank you very much, Nagendraji. We will do that. It's a very tough job, but we have to do the startup environment, and then I know these any software which has to be developed, it has to start from I know having dealt with Passport Seva project, my God, you guys have to know everything, then only it can be put in place. So we will try to do, and then Rajesh will be in touch with you all, and then whenever this hackathon is there, we will be happy to participate, and then we will give you inputs.
Thank you, sir.
So once again, I would like to say thank you. I think, sir, you may have to leave, I believe, at 6:56, a few minutes late. Once again, thank you. Like, I concur from Kannada Bharati and other orgs here, probably, that we will be for any support. Thanks for your time, and your team is awesome, and we'll continue to work with them for another hour here in conversation. Thank you again, sir. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Good night.
Yep. Oh. So now we have the next phase of our program, that is with our Deputy Counsel General, Rajesh Naik ji. So he's with us today. And he's one of those guy and a go-to guy. I can't believe, like, I through Nagendra or, in any which way, whenever we have a problem, we are able to reach him, very quick time, quick response, and amazing service. It's so glad to have him here today. And so I would like to, invite him to the conversation with our one of the board of directors, Shashi Koteshwara, for a question and answer session, in which, like, he has spoken in many of the forums about the pandemic, how they are helping and how they can, read them, different things. Here we are going to hear from him with different questions from the audience, Seattle Indians, to get it answered. Before I start that, if Jagdish Sharma ji want to speak any words before we start the QA session, please feel free to, unmute yourself and please go ahead.
Thank you, Manjunath ji. Let me say a few words, particularly about now Rajesh ji, because Ambassador already left. I think he left, right?
Yeah, he seems to be in a hurry, right? So I couldn't get you on there. My apologies.
No, that's fine, but so everybody will know what Rajesh ji is doing for us, and what he has done already. So let me start. Rajesh ji must be here someplace, So as Ambassador mentioned, Rajesh ji already had a very successful this consular camp in Seattle area, in Bothell actually, along with the Yusuf ji were there, Amit Bharadwaj ji and few others were there. And it was a very successful, and the main focus was with the Sikh community. And then Rajesh ji really, as you also mentioned and somebody also mentioned, he's a really, he believes in provide the service efficiently. I will give you an example. One day, one Indian community member was in need for the emergency visa. So I sent the message 10:30 p.m. and you won't believe I got the answer 12:17 a.m. Same night from Rajesh ji. So that's the Rajesh ji's service to the Indian community. He really believes into that one. So I'll keep uh, keep shut now with these words.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jagdish ji. It's amazing to have you again, right? Being one of the veteran in this, all the connections with the embassy, and so it's awesome. So and having said that, so let's have this QA session with Rajesh Naik ji and Shashi Koteshwara. Please, let's just have the session and have the Seattle Kannadigas questions answered so that they will be very happy to see that happening. Thank you. Thank you again. And I will let the floor for these two folks now.
Yeah, thank you, Manjunath, and welcome, Rajesh Naik. First of all, I want to thank you for the service that you are providing for our community. Great to have you today with us. So I want to start off with a couple of questions which are related to OCI. Um, so first, over the last 8 or 9 months, you must have seen a lot of scenarios. People facing some challenges with travel between US and India. So can you spend some time talk about what are the things that you have seen that can be taken as a learning for the community, and also what are the things our community needs to be ready with? So if you can spend some time on it, that will be great, Rajesh.
Thank you, Shashiji. Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Kannada Bharati, IAFF, and all of our community organizations in Seattle for organizing this virtual consular camp. Thank you, Jagdish ji and Manjunath ji for those kind words. I'm humbled. Seattle is very close to me. In fact, the Seattle is the city where I have visited maximum number of times for different reasons. In fact, the first visit was for a consular camp, and there is a huge demand. We have 200,000 plus Indians in Seattle and adjoining regions, and there's a huge demand for a consular camp there. We had one camp, and our commitment was to come back in the next 6 months and to have the regular camps in Seattle, but somehow the COVID came and that changed all the plans. We waited for COVID to go away and to have an actual camp, but unfortunately, we may have to wait for a few more months. And in between, Nagendra ji came up with this request for having a conference call with these few people who are having some problems with the application, with consular processes. Then we decided, why don't we replicate what we did with our community in Los Angeles to have a virtual. And I'm very happy to share that in this camp, we have our colleagues, of course, from the consulate who look after OCI, look after passport, visa, renunciation processes. Also, we have my colleagues from our new outsource service provider, VFS Global. We have Sonia, she's the US in charge, and Erlina, who is the San Francisco center in charge. They'll be able to answer a lot of questions probably which the applicants may be facing or community members may be facing. And certainly we are here to help you if there are any other questions per se. And coming back to your question, Shashiji, on the OCI, COVID has been a very dynamic and a very evolving situation. It's been very unsettling for us, for government of India as well, because it's a very new challenge for any government, for any system to face. So a lot of instructions were issued, a lot of instructions were not changing. So my humble request with the community for all the viewers here is that please visit our website at least once in 15 minutes. As our consul general who give a comprehensive picture of our activities, as he mentioned, please give us some time, about a week or 2-3 days. There are exigencies, emergencies. Certainly we can help you out under those circumstances. But for those who can afford to have time, please ensure that you make your applications well in advance. If you need any guidance in that regard, please approach us. Feel free to do that. Because the normal thing also turns out to be emergencies. If it happens so, then what happens is that commitment to the real emergency probably may go down. Maybe you may not be able to distinguish between a normal application and an emergency application. Um, we are available round the clock. In fact, our emergency helpline works round the clock for any exigencies. That being our commitment, and Nagendra ji mentioned it. There are no problems without any solution. Once you are able to reach us, definitely there are going to be solutions. Only thing is that we may need some time because we have to complete ABCD processes. That's the only humble request. And grievances, we need to have a channel, as Consul General mentioned. It's good to have an app. Everything is on a fingertip these days. App will help us in that regard. Coming back to the specific question on OCI cards, government has relaxed conditions for the renewal of the OCI cards. Now, existing OCI card holders, whatever the early conditions are there, if you have an OCI card with you, your renewal is deferred till June 30th, 2021. You have 6 more months to renew your OCI card. Those who have emergency travel, urgent travel pending, please travel. And those who do not have any emergency travel in the next 2 months, I would request them to apply for the renewal as early as possible. Rather than waiting for this deadline to extend further, it's better to have those card renewed. Please give us, for OCI, it takes some time. Renewal, of course, can be done in 3 weeks or so, but give us about a month's time because of this sudden spike in application. There may be some delays because of this COVID health protocol as well. So those who have time, please apply for your renewal. Those who have some emergency travel pending, please, you can travel. Once you come back, you can renew your OCI card. And those who don't have a OCI card, want to apply for a OCI card, and there is an emergency travel pending, what I would suggest is that you go ahead, apply for your OCI card. Plus, you may have to get a emergency entry visa to travel immediately. New OCI card would take about 6 weeks by the time you have the card at your hand. So instead of you apply for it, but you can simultaneously take a visa, travel to India, come back, and by the time you come back, probably you may have your OCI card as well. I have my colleagues with me, Sonia from VFS, Elena from VFS. Shashi, would you like to, would you like them to explain the process of applying for different services in their new website, and then we take few more questions?
Yeah, absolutely. We can do that, Rajesh ji.
Okay.
We have many questions that are coming from the live audience. Plus, we also have some of the questions that were shared earlier by the community. So it would be great if Sonia ji can share her point of views, and then we can get into the Q&A.
Yeah, quickly, thank you, Shashiji. Sonia ji, quickly, if you could give a brief introduction to VFS, your activities in United States, and then Edlina, since as Shashi is mentioning, there are several questions. There are many questions which came in advance. There are live questions also. We would like to take up all questions and clarify the doubts here. If you could quickly explain the process, that may well answer some of the pending questions. Over to you, Sonia. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Namaskar. I'm Sonia Daigure, based in Washington, D.C. I'm the head for VFS for USA. Just a very big thank you for inviting us, members of Kannada Bharati, Dr. Naik, and IAF and guests. This is actually a really important forum, and allowing us to connect with you really gives us a perspective. As Dr. Prasad said, this is an opportunity for us to really learn of your expectations. We have just launched, just been exactly about 30 days since we launched our services. And we do realize there are issues that you're facing. We are aware of it. We are doing our best. It's been a really hard and tight rollout. COVID issues, setting up in a tight timeline has not helped, but we are doing our best. And I do take this opportunity to talk to you, to learn from you how we can help, which are your really pain areas. And we promise you as we go along, we will make sure we meet those expectations. We are gearing up. We made a huge change or leap since we launched to today, in terms of resolving several of the problems that we heard from you, which came to us via the email, via social media, and we have done a lot to resolve the problems that you had. But at the outset, just talking about VFS Global, It is really a matter of pride and honor to be allowed to serve the community in USA, to offer the passport consular services across USA. VFS, if you may know, we've been working with the Government of India since 2008. Our company has worked with the Ministry of External Affairs in 11 countries. US is the 12th one. And here we provide passport, consular, and eventually visa services once it opens up, and we're able to offer the services soon. So I'm very thankful to the government for choosing us, for giving us this opportunity. And I, alongside with my very experienced team, which is based across the USA, are committed to providing superior experience for every one of you as you apply and in your journey, whether it's for passport, OCI, visa, renunciation, GEP. We've commenced operations, as I said, early November. We've opened 6 centers across the USA in the 6 cities where the embassy and the consulates are based. And we have launched, we are not open to the public. As you know, we are accepting only postal applications. At the moment with COVID, it's really difficult at this stage to be accepting in person. There are several guidelines, restrictions, health and safety standards. Hence, we are processing, but we're trying to process the postal applications as quickly as we can. There is, of course, a very high spike in applicant volumes that we've seen. And of course, from this month of November, there were several holidays. So you may have been facing, and I hear some of you talking about having some delays. It is not our intention. We are fully geared to deal with the demand, but there is a process that we are trying to follow. So hence, please bear with us. Your applications are safe once they come to us. We do quarantine the applications for about 48 hours before we start really actually processing them. And of course, we make sure our staff, the safety of our staff, as Dr. Prasad also said, is it's very important not to have a single case of COVID. So we ensure our staff is following the guidelines and being safe, because if they are safe, we are able to continue the operations, because a single case of COVID, unfortunately, can cause a stoppage in work, and that's what we don't want. So I will not take too much time. I'm going to let my colleague Erlina just give you a quick overview of our website. This is a static website, and some screenshots of the actual process of how you should apply through us. So as you know, there are 2 interfaces that you need to apply with. One is with the Government of India, and then one is VFS. So there are the forms which are hosted on Government of India, be it for OCI, be it for passport. And then you come into the VFS site, and wherein you make your payment and you're able to purchase courier, and then you post that to VFS, and then we take on the process with the consulates. So over to you, Erlina, and if you can just run the team through the whole process, please.
Thank you, Sonia. Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting us. So I'll be sharing a slide and some screenshots, and I will also go through our website live to show you how to, from end-to-end process, to show you what is the applicants will experience when visiting our website and filling the application. So let me just share the screen. I can, everyone, does everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So our website is visa.vfsglobal.com/usa.en/ind. So this is our homepage. Let me go and copy our website and go to the our website. Does everyone see the?
No, Erlina,
My
you may,
screen right now?
Not yet.
you may have to
might have-
reshare the web browser.
Yeah.
Is it good now?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you can see here, there are different links. The applicant have an option to click from the top, or they can click here that says start now. So you see here is the passport service guide, OCI services guide, renunciation, and GEP. And if the applicant already created a government form ahead of time, the applicant can simply just click apply now. But let me cover you the passport services. So if you click start, I suggest that every applicant should read the steps from 1 to 6. It is important to read the information before creating an application. I get a lot of emails that applicants are able to create an application on the government website. However, because they did not read from 1 to 6, they don't know what is next. So I suggest that go through the information, step 1, which shows the link, the passport service, and introduction. And then number 2 is to begin the application. The link is available to create an application, and we also have a sample of a government application form on how to fill it correctly. It is important that the data entry is correct and current to avoid any delay or rejection, as the government website does not allow the applicant to edit any information as soon as the government form is generated and completed online. So it is important that you have all the information in front of you, your passport, every single documents that may be needed when filling up the application online. And before you click and save, of course, you have to make sure that every single information is correct. Now, let me go back to the,
Click on the link on top. Yeah. Yeah, you can go there. That's fine.
okay. All right. So number 2 is to begin the application. Number 3 is to mail in the application and the fees. Number 4, step 4 is to submit the physical application to VFS. 5 is the post receipt of the application, and number 6 is to track your application. So let me show you, even if the applicant has not started creating an account on the VFS website, they can actually see or download the checklist and see the fees, how much they need to pay ahead of time. So if we click here in passport service and you select, let's say, issuance of passport, from here, you'll see the links, the passport fees are available. At least they have an idea how much they're going to spend on the passport. And even the documents required are also available. The checklists are available. All necessary forms are also downloadable. They have an option to fill it using the computer, or they can download it and handwrite the information. And the photo specifications are standard. It applies to all services, passport, OCI, GP, and renunciation. If you have the time, please visit the website for the photo specifications. Now, let me show you for the OCI. For the OCI, do you see the screenshot or the slide right now, or no?
We are seeing the browser.
The browser. Hold on. Okay, let me go back here. So what we advise the applicant is you follow the checklist and make sure the data entries are correct. Now, the common delays in the application is when the applicant does not upload necessary documents online. Though physically the physical application has to be submitted to the application center, but the government website also requires the applicant to upload every single documents online as per checklist. As you can see here on the government website, it shows the drop down of what are the documents. Not all of this may be required for services, but if anything that applies to you as per the checklist, the applicant has to upload the document. If it's incomplete, some applicants only upload one document or two, and if we receive the application, we have to place it on hold, and the applicant has to upload the rest of the documents online. That's just one advice. And also the photograph. I heard a lot of complaints of they're not able to upload the photo. The government website has a specification. It requires a specific size of the photo and data. So it has to be 200 by 200. And as I have shared the website photo specification, it has to be plain white background. And if like I have mentioned, if you get the time, please go through the specific photo specifications. And the signature has to be cleared as well. So let me just go back to the registration part. So on this part, if you are the first-time user, you are required to complete the registration process. If you already created a profile earlier, then you should click on the back to log in to skip this part. Now, the next page will show you the services. And in this part, it will take at least 5 to 7 minutes to complete the process. And our website works best using a Mozilla or Google Chrome. We suggest that we stick to the website that is suggested by our website. And it is important that the following documents are already ready before you begin. Number one, I would suggest to get your government reference number available. As you see, the first step is to create an application on the government website, and then you go back to VFS website and make your government reference number handy because you will need it to complete an account. So if you are also going to use your credit card or debit card to pay online, make it ready, your passport details. And if you are choosing to select, you're choosing to use your own prepaid label, we only...
Arlena, this is Shashi.
Yes.
We have a lot of questions. I think what we can do is take some of the questions and then get back into some of the detailed demo if time permits.
Sure,
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Arlena and Sonia ji. So going back to Rajesh ji, we have few questions that we wanted to ask you. Consulate General talked about traveling by, let's say, Indian Airlines or through United. Some of the people are facing challenges while traveling through other airlines or other airports like London and so on. So maybe can you give us some details around it? What are the things that, in addition to like picking these airlines, what are the things that travelers need to take care of?
Yeah, thank you, Shashiji. Current travel is not a normal commercial airline travel. That's not allowed. That's been suspended till 31st December. What is happening is that Government of India is allowing certain airlines from certain countries under what is known as air bubble agreement. This is between two countries, India and United States, United Kingdom, France, for example. And under this agreement, only direct flights between the countries are allowed as per the agreement. I'm just telling you the agreement terms and conditions. So our recommendation, our suggestion is that please take direct flight anyway from US to India. Currently, there are only two airlines that are providing direct services. One is Air India, the one is United Airlines. Both of them are flying from New York and San Francisco. Air India flies from Chicago as well. So our recommendation is please take direct flights. And let me answer you why. What happens is that if you take a connecting flight, you go to a third country. Some of the relaxation, some of the rules the government of India applies to United States may not be applicable to a passenger who is traveling from the third country. There will be different set of rules under the air bubble agreement with that country. That may pose a lot of problems. Hence, please, I know from Seattle, from Los Angeles, a lot of people prefer to take via third country. Please avoid that. There is an FAQ on our website. It's a pop-up as you enter Consulate General of India website. It comes as a pop-up. You go through the FAQ. We have clearly mentioned it. So our recommendation stands, please take a direct flight, third country, via third country. If you are taking a flight, if something happens with immigration, either in that country or in India, please don't hold us responsible.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Rajesh ji, for the clarification. In terms of COVID test requirements, while traveling from India to US, are there any requirements for having the certificate, the test results?
This is actually governed by the CDC guidelines. As per our information, as of now, CDC does not mandate COVID tests for travel. However, these guidelines may change depending on some of the local regulation in some of the states here. For example, California may come up with some additional regulation. Washington may come up with certain regulations. You really have to check CDC plus the state guidelines before you fly India to US.
Okay, thank you. In terms of emergency visa, Consulate General talked about there's a provision for getting it quickly. So can you briefly talk about what are the requirements and how fast can we get emergency visa, or what are the things that needs to be taken care for the emergency visa?
Yeah, Shashiji, I have my visa officer also here. I will request him to give a quick, briefing on availing visas. Amit, can you just join us in giving this brief?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, Amit ji, if you can briefly talk about this emergency visa, what
Correct,
are the requirements, how fast one can get this, and what are the things required to get this, right? So maybe if you can briefly talk about it, that'll be great.
Right. Presently, there is a online visa application. If you go on our website, that is cgisf.gov.in, and there is a visa link there. You click, and all the information will be displayed there. So it is like that. You have to fill an online application at indianvisaonline.gov.in.
Okay. Usually, how long does it take for the emergency visa to acquire?
No. We after receiving the application, generally we issue the visa within 1 or 2 days maximum, maybe on same day. So there is no pendency at our side.
I mean, just to clarify the doubt, Shashi, just to add, what happens is that the actual processing does not take time. It's about 1 or 2 days. But what actually takes time is the health protocol. Once the application comes, we keep it for 40 hours, as Sonia was mentioning, and then we take it on the third day for processing it. We process it. Maybe next day it gets dispatched, or maybe on the fifth day it reaches people. We safely we assume about a week, 5 working days is required for visa. That's why Consul General mentioned, please apply in advance. That will be helpful.
Right.
Sure. So this is applicable for, let's say, a family. I mean, there are a lot of questions around this. Family has, let's say, 3 members who are US citizens, and 1 person still holds the Indian passport. And they don't, not, I mean, in such cases, like OCI is there, but some people don't have the OCI. And in this scenario, they have to apply for the emergency visa in advance, have it ready, and keep it, right? I mean, it's not for emergency purpose, but at least apply it and have the visa ready for such.
No, better if you have time to, then it is better to apply for OCI, not for visa. Apply for visa only when you have to travel within 1 month, say.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you have time, then you should apply for the OCI. That is the best.
Okay.
I will suggest.
And Shashi, just to add, like if people have applied for OCI and suddenly something comes about, COVID is so uncertain, suddenly something comes up and they really have to travel in about a week's time, in about few days time. Definitely we can facilitate visa separately. But what Amit is hinting, if you have time, have this OCI applied and keep it ready. That will be far more useful than just waiting for a visa or applying for visa.
Got it. And in terms of timelines, with the COVID situation, what are the expectations like of in terms of passport renewal, getting OCI or emergency visa? I heard like maybe 1 or 2 days a time frame, but what are the timelines for the rest of the documents?
Yeah, Shashi, emergency visa, 1 or 2 days when it is really an emergency. My request is that people should have it in advance, and then, we issue generally 60 to 70 visas a day, and it's so complicated to handle that volume with all this health protocol in place. Always good to have it applied in advance, and there are real emergencies on the same day. Also, we can give some emergencies. And on the passport front, I have my colleague, Mr. H.S. Negi, can quickly brief you on what are the timelines for passport services. Negiji, can you please join us? You may have to unmute yourself, Negiji, please.
And Negiji, we can't still hear you.
There seems to be a technical problem. Yusuf, are you there? Can you just brief us on the passport front?
Yes, sir. It generally takes 4 weeks when the application reaches to us, sir. 4 to 5 weeks.
Even now, considering the situation that we are in, you're saying 4 to 5 weeks should be the timeline.
Yes, sir. But there are certain categories, like people who are staying for more than 5 years here. For those cases, it is faster, maybe in 3 to 4 weeks. But for those who are staying less than 5 years, the processing time is 5 to 6 weeks.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So So we have some questions around the VFS. I would like to invite my colleague Prakash to go through some of the VFS related questions as well. Prakash.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shashi. First of all, thank you very much, Rajesh Nayak ji and rest of the VFS team. So, like we have collected like through the Google form and through the entire Seattle community. So, couple of questions around passport renewal and all. So, the scenario is like here, like this is from Anil Kulkarni and some other customers, wherein the whole the customers are a little bit getting panicked, because even I think only your team knows, or some of the people who know, who has already attended these type of session, they know the lead times. So people are worried about the lead time because that is not open and clearly mentioned in the, or like I don't know where exactly is that. Even in the demo I was expecting to go through the processing time in the VFS portal, because those are not communicated or not openly like shown. So that's why people are like, okay, when I'm going to get, like, they are tracking that. And I think all these days CKGS has set a good high standard, or like, they worked so many years that keeping the track of each and every process step, so they are able to get the notification where, in what stage it is. So that is the question, is around like, where is VFS stands there, and what are the different communication what customers get, instead of getting sending a lot of mails and trying to becoming panic there.
Okay, so thank you for the question. I absolutely understand what you're saying. It's so there are two types. When you say processing time, which is mentioned on the website, that is the time which is taken by the consulate or the embassy once we submit the application. So when we're talking about 5 weeks or 4 weeks, that is from the time a completed application goes to the mission. But from the time that you submit the application to VFS, as Adelina was showing you, there are once we receive the applications and we kind of start start processing it, there are two things which we see. Is it a complete application in all respects? Is it good to go to the mission as per the standards they have required? Checklist is complete, and that is the one that we process right away and we submit to the embassy or the consulate. The other one, which is incomplete, and unfortunately, what we find with postal applications, and the stress we keep trying to say is, if people, if a real request, because for us it's also very hard, we get a lot of incomplete applications. People don't follow instructions, or the documents are incomplete, they are not followed, and unfortunately, we cannot submit those to the consulate. So we put them on hold. Now, once the things are put on hold, it's really unfortunate, because we have to go back and forth with the customer saying you need this. We send them an email. A lot of times, possibly these emails may be going into spam, or they say they haven't heard from us. But if till that application becomes complete in all respects, which is we have about a 3 weeks window which we can keep it as incomplete, and if we don't receive it in that time, then we'll have to return it back to the customer. So that is, and so hence the more complete and more, I mean, if it's a perfect application, it goes to the consulate immediately. In terms of communication and how you can track this, we have a track application status, which you can see once as it processes. So you will see it when we have submitted it. Once it's submitted, where you can say that it's submitted to the consulate, then we don't have a visibility on the stages in the consulate. You will then only see the next status is when it comes back to us. So this is a tracking status through VFS, which is there on our site. In terms of communication, as you said about the SMS, etc., if it's a complete application, SMS updates are going to applicants saying that this is, your application has been received or it has been submitted. Those tracking notes are going. If you've not received anything so far, if there is any challenge, because as I said, it's still teething troubles that we're going through. If there's anything specific that you're looking at, please write into us. We will give you the status. But that's in broad perspective is the process that we follow. Our endeavor is to be better than, or definitely than, the incumbent, and we will be there. But as I said, if there is something which is lost in this right now because of the transition, please let us know and we will write. Where they can write to us on our website, if you go to the contact us page, there is a link there. There's a web form which you fill in. Please provide us the correct information, your email ID, and what is it that you're looking for. Give your government reference number or a VFS reference number, because if you give us whole information, our response is more complete. So you need to go to the contact us page. There are two links there, one for visas OCI, one for passport GEP renunciation. Depending on what you're applying, fill up that application form. That comes to us as an email to our help desk, and the help desk will reply back to you with the status.
Oh, that's a
Prakash, just to add, probably applicants will be more interested in knowing how long do they need to wait in getting the passport. Roughly, Yusuf also touched upon that. Roughly, if it's a normal application, if somebody is stayed here out of India for less than 5 years, roughly around 4 to 5 weeks, he may have by the time application is him. Okay, and 4 to 5 weeks it will take at our end, and add 1 more week at VFS end, say 6 weeks. Somebody has stayed over 5 years, then roughly within 2 to 3 weeks he can get his. So it's good to apply it in advance. Passport, once you have applied, if is expired, is about to expire, you still have 1 year for the expiry of your passport. Not an issue. You can apply in advance. If you have applied here, your both passports are with us. If you are afraid that somebody in your company or the local authorities might ask you, you can always say that I have applied. Here is my application detail. And you can always get help from the consulate as long as it's pending for processing at our end.
That's great. So along with that, when can we get the original passport back is also one of the concern, because some people are not getting back like 2 or 3 weeks. So that is also one of the concerns.
No, if it is, the conditions are there, Prakash. I mean, I'm just talking about an application which is complete in all respects. Then, and then the person has stayed for less than 5 years outside India in the United States. So he has to wait for, say, 6 to 7 weeks, 1.5 months, roughly. Somebody who was stayed above over 5 years here and his application is complete in all respects, within 2 to 3 weeks, say 21 days, you will get the.
Got it.
Thank you. Thank you, Rajesh ji. So Sonia ji, another question related to this transition from CKGS to VFS. Pavitra Nagashara says she has applied for global entry via CKGS in February, and as she understands, it's under process at the consulate. But now with this transition happening, she wants to know how to track this application and what is the process.
Shiji, let me add, probably Sonia may not be able to answer this question. GEP is like Global Entry Program is of US Custom and Border Police. It's basically facilitating your travel and entry here. Okay, and it has multiple stages of clearance. First, it will be processed at our end, then they have several levels of clearance in India, different ministry security agencies, and the clearance will be communicated directly with CBP. Don't get a card or anything back. Then if you have a GEP status, that will be communicated directly to CBP, and then you'll be eligible for that status. And the minimum is 6 to 7 months time it's because the entire process is very complicated, not only at our end, at United States end as well, because if CBP grants a GEP status, there are several levels of security scrutiny.
Understand. In terms of tracking now, does she have to connect with the VFS or with the consulate?
Even the consulate will not be able to. She has to connect with CBP whether she has a GEP status or not.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, one of the question from our live audience customer, name is Pramod M. I have been struggling to get a status on my new OCI application since last 1 month. The VFS call center provides generic answers. Even though we sent mail, there are no specific SLAs for those mails. So that is a question.
So did they apply 1 month ago?
Yes, they are tracking, and the question says my new OC application since 1 month, means they are trying to get the status of the application. They have
No, I'm
applied.
just trying to understand if they applied through VFS or had they applied prior to VFS, because if they've applied before, we won't be able to answer this. If they've applied through us, then I could possibly help to address that.
Yeah, they must have applied through
Sonia,
VFS.
I believe they must have applied it through VFS only, because we do not have any of the CKGS applications pending. All applications have been processed. Applicants have been. I have my colleague from OCI. He'll be able to substantiate my claim. We do not. It must be through VFS.
Okay, because I don't think we have any applications from. I mean, we launched exactly a month ago, hence the question, because we launched on the 4th. So if there's something specific, if they can write in to us, if you could write it and send the email can come into Erlina, maybe we can address that, because we don't have something pending with us for that long. And it's, even if it's incomplete, something would have gone out to the applicant saying, why is it incomplete? What is the document that you need? So maybe if there is, if you can route the email to us through Mr. Naik, we can have that addressed specifically.
I can understand. Definitely, it's a big lot of load, like taking over from CKGS to VFS. It's a big effort. Definitely appreciate your team effort there. Only thing is, people are expecting something related to SLAs, like service level agreement, for this problem these many days, for this problem these many days. Like if that is clear, then at least they will be ready. Okay, this is my problem, I can expect in 6 days. So is there any possibility to declare those SLAs? Or
No, there are service standards. There's something that we are bound by, which we are committed to. As I said, there were some issues. We have acknowledged that. We have worked through it. There has been a huge improvement in what it was. There were challenges around going. It was a very, very short turnaround time. So please bear with us. If there's any inconvenience, we deeply regret that. We are fixing it, and the SLAs will get posted on our website too, so you have a clear idea of what to expect in terms of the service standards that we will be adhering to. So these will be soon be on our website also for transparency. We are transparent with everyone on what we need to do and where we need to aspire to be. So these will be there. If there is something on emails or calls, is the question around emails, I believe, as to how to get an answer, or is it around the processing time at our office? At our office, processing time, as I explained, it's purely for a complete application. It would be submitted the next day once we address that, once we are able to. So you would say 48 hours, then another day we should be addressing a fresh application in about between 3 days.
Sure.
At least 3
Thank
days
you.
in advance. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Prakash, just to add to what Sonia has mentioned, we do have a service level SLAs agreement with the VFS. They cannot delay it beyond a point. Sometimes applications do get held up because of incompleteness of their application process. But unfortunately, the transition took place at a time when there is COVID surge, and there are very strict regulation by SF government authorities here. So that has caused a lot of delay and confusion in ensuring that we meet the standards that we agreed. But I'm sure, thank you, Sonia, for that very frank answer. We are working together in a few days or weeks. We should definitely live up to the expectation that our customers have.
We are
And
doing our best.
I have also given the OCI email, oci1.sf@mea.gov.in. If you can just relate to the live audience here, any questions related to OCI, any pending applications relating to OCI, please write to us. We will take a relook at, and we and VFS will sit together and will ensure that the issue gets resolved.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Rajeshri. This question is from Nagraj. In VFS Contact Us page, there's no India or US toll-free number to talk to someone. So do you have any plans for introducing the contact center where people can address their issues?
Sorry, so there are two numbers there, and they are not at any charge. In the sense, I'm not too sure I understand the question that you need an India number.
Yeah, the question from Nagraj is that there is no India or US toll-free number with which people can talk to someone to solve their issues.
There are two numbers listed on the site, on the contact us page.
Okay.
Which you can contact, yeah.
Sure. Okay, so moving on to next, which is very transactional in nature. Someone is asking their kid's passport is expiring on February 24th, and they want to travel to India in December and back before the US passport expiry date. Is there any guidelines around that they have to get it renewed, or the passport should be valid for next 6 months, or something other like guidelines?
Yeah, Shashi, I believe the person has a US passport, and as per Internal Civil Aviation Organization guidelines, every individual should carry a passport that should be valid minimum of 6 months. The time not just of boarding, from the time he enters into the country. Okay, there are cases people miss it by a day and all that, but ICAO is very strict on this condition. Minimum 6 months valid passport is a must, even for our officers to issue.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the next question comes from Jwala Mohit Girisha. For Indian address proof, do we have the other option in case we are not able to furnish the documents listed? Either because of latest address not listed on the documents or not having the government bank account.
I will request my colleague to answer, but I believe you have an existing passport with you that will have Indian address.
Okay.
So I will request Yusuf, can you just clarify this doubt? It seems very technical in nature.
Sir, if there is no change in address, then no requirement. Is there any change in the address?
Mostly there will be change in the address, and they don't have a document per se. How can they do that?
Okay. It says either because of latest address not listed on the documents or not having the government bank account. So,
okay. Please ask him to email us. We will look into and reply suitably. Don't worry. Okay, we'll take
sure,
it.
sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Another question, can notarization of documents be relaxed for passport renewal?
Notarization is must, sir. Notarization is must because we don't see the original documents. That is why we need the notarized copies.
Okay, so the point that they are bringing it's for the passport renewal process. So
no, Shashi, it may be renewal process, but they are attaching ABC documents. Since they are not submitting it in person, we need to have some authority certifying that he's the person, he came and he submitted. The notary is that authority, and we receive applications by mail, and then based on the notary seal, we take it forward. So notarization, I know it's a bit of a hazard, but it's a must because we are not seeing the person actually.
Got it. Thank you, Rajesh.
The next question comes from Naveen Manjunath. So question is like feels bit tactical. I will just read out. I have a FedEx prepaid return label purchased from VFS site. Should we include the return envelope in the package? Also, should we apply in normal or tatkal?
So I'll answer about the envelope. No, you don't need to enclose the return envelope. Just the airway bill is good enough. we will ship it back to you. For the second bit, I would defer to the consulate officials.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia ji. So as we are coming to the top of the hour, Rajesh ji, question for you. Is there a possibility of consulate in Seattle?
Right question, but a wrong person you're asking. I'm not the authority to decide. And Seattle is the city I've visited maximum number of time in my short 7-8 months before the COVID hit and the restrictions. But it depends on government of India. It depends on government of India's decision. As and when government decides, certainly we look forward to have a community.
Great. What makes the case? 200,000 Indian community here. So
no, it's a very complicated process. Not just the government of India's decision. It's the government. U.S. government also has to accept it. Plus, there are so many protocols in place, international Geneva Conventions. Little complicated process. But yes, if the government is pursuing it, hopefully, if everything gets settled, we may have really up to the two governments at the highest level.
Great. Thank you, Rajesh. So with that, see, we have another 20-25 questions, which are more on the tactical nature. So what we'll do, we'll give them the contact information, email for them to reach out. And if there are any unresolved issues, maybe we'll ask them to reach out to you, Rajesh ji.
Yeah, or Shashi, what we can do is that if you can send all those questions along with the email of the contact person who has asked the question. Okay, what we can do is that we'll go through it. We will ask the respective departments from our end to reach out to them directly and resolve the issue.
Great. That's awesome.
Because what happens is that if they are sending it to us, there are like, sorry, my email has 150 emails a day minimum. There are like hundreds. Okay, so it may miss out in that lot, and then probably we may not be living up to the commitment we just made on this show. So it will be easier for us to have the questions and the email, and we will get in touch with them and we'll certainly resolve them.
Sure, we'll do that. With that, thank you very much. I'll hand it over to Abhi for conclusion.
Do you mind if I ask one question, which is relevant to this, probably missed? So one of the challenge that we had was with US for kids, especially the US passport getting renewed for the kids. They haven't valid OCI for lifetime, right? But when the US passport has to be renewed for the kids, again they have to apply for that OCI with attestation or whatnot. So the question is mainly is it must there are emergency situations where they may have to travel and it's not ready yet, kind of more. Is it must to carry? Can they carry old password, new password with the OCI and travel, or it is a must to have document?
Yeah, Manjunath ji, on the OCI, yes, for kids below 20, earlier guideline was that it has to be renewed every time the passport gets renewed because there are changes in physical appearance. For that reason. But government, because of the unique and extraordinary circumstances under COVID, what has done that the renewal has been deferred till June 30th, 2021. They need not renew. They can carry the old, the existing OCI card and the passport on which the OCI was issued. I mean the old passport. Obviously, you need to have a valid passport. You need to have the new passport also. If you have these three sets of documents, you can certainly travel. But you need 6 months plus valid passport valid beyond that point, because that's a civil aviation guidance.
Okay, I mean the answer is that as long as they have a passport, US passport valid more than 6 months with the old and new password, they can still go.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus the OCI card.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Right.
Yeah, with that, Shashi, I'm sorry to interrupt, and so I will hand it over to Abhijit for conclusion, and we will send all the questions that we have over to your team, Rajesh ji. Thank you very much, and I'll hand it over to Abhijit for conclusion. Thank you.
So everyone, thank you very much. This was a very informative session we had. I know there were a lot of questions. I hope all the questions are answered, and we also have an additional to do things for us. We will send out Google Forms and everything for you to ask questions. Just before we all go, I want to just switch to grid view for everyone to turn on their videos and see how many people actually involved here. So everybody will know. So I just want to thank everyone. So thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful experience. We hope to repeat it, but not on a virtual mode, but hopefully an actual camp in Seattle. Thank you so much. Thanks for your cooperation. Thank you, Kannada Bharati and IAFF and all other organizations who have joined hands today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajesh.